Good day, guys. I hope we had a blessed weekend. I hope we're all good. So we're going to have today's synthetic live chat analysis. We're going to start off with B500. We've got one position which we entered at 60.68. First buy was on 60.64. Third scaling at current market price. So I'm going to explain this setup. This is just like a retracement back into this broken zone here. So let's go to a higher time frame, see where that zone is coming from. Okay. All right, you can see it's a daily level or a daily zone right here. We broke it, came back, respected it. Now we've broken it. This price can potentially do two things right now. They can come bounce off it, continue down, or they can still come back above this range to complete this retracement. So what we are buying into is a retracement. Either they're coming back up here to this broken zone for a continuation down, or they want to break it and actually continue pushing up. So for now, the buy is short term. We are also we just also got above the 13 EMA. I believe we'll close above the 13 EMA. We will most likely close above the 13 EMA. So which one is the lowest low here? All right. Spotting the lowest low, this would be the order block, which we want to be broken. But besides this order block, we do have this zone of these equal highs. You can see it's more or less a zone here, which was being respected within this big zone. So if we do get a retracement now, they're most likely coming to tap back around 60, 65, around, yeah, 60, 65 to 60, 68, where the entry is. That's where they will most likely come to retest. Okay, so I'd say that's my setup for now. That's how it's looking. We're looking for a potential from current market price. We're looking for a potential 30 pips. If we can get a clean 30 pips from this move, that will be perfect. If we come back down into 60, 68, this will make this like an almost 40 pip move. So if we can get 30 to 40 pips on this move, I think that will be perfect. So for now, rest of the word, it's almost like 1-to-1, because for now our stop loss is to be outside the range in case price wants to come a little bit deeper before it pushes up. So for now, stop loss here, but if we start to show some momentum, then we're going to move our stop loss, put it on entries or just below entries, and see how the trade plays out. So that's my view on B5. Also, TDI, we've got a little bit of divergence which started forming here. Baseline bounces. So those are the two confirmations, and the price line is also coming out of the bands, showing that there can be a potential of some momentum here coming back towards the 200 EMA or this broken zone which you are targeting is take profits. So for now, I'll say that's my view for B5. If price does violate coming to the downside, then it will be a different setup. But for now, this is what I see. We're going to go to C300. We've been bearish coming from this level at the top. All right, this zone actually ended up getting strong in rejecting price. Nice break. We are now below the 13. So from the day before yesterday, we became bearish. So for now, I'll say, okay, there is a point of interest here, which is this order block. So price can still bounce here and maybe push up. But I would say for now, I'm leaning on sells just based off this. If we do come below this order block, then these sells will most likely continue back to these lows. most likely. So buyers, I'll say bearish, but price could push up based on this daily order block we see right there. So let's see what the 4-hour has. On the 4-hour, we are looking for supply zones since we are in a sell motion. So I've got this zone right at the top, back in that area at the top there. I've got this broken area here. These are just points of interest for now. Let's see how this looked like. Okay, so we might, if this is an impulsive move also, we might be looking forward for price to actually come back into this level here, which is around 25, 25, 25, 25, 30. Let's just say from 25, 25 actually to 25, 50. That will be a sell limit point of interest, but we need price to actually pull back into that area. Based on this market structure, again, we've got a nice divergence on the 4-hour, higher highs on price, lower high on TDI, followed by a baseline bounce, which was when price was actually bouncing off this area. So for me, this shows that price will most likely push lower, but I would love to see a pullback into any of these points of interest right there. So that area there is my point of interest. If a pattern forms within this zone, I'll definitely execute. So now remember, this is also based on this point being the retracement point, like this area. If price actually pushes up, because what could happen is they could continue pushing down. That means this level will come lower, and this point of interest will change a little. So I'll advise, if that happens, I'll let you guys know. But for now, I would say that's my point of interest. So since it's shaded, I'm just going to remove that fib. TDI, we definitely anticipate another form of baseline bounce to make it a high probability sell. So I'm going to leave this on H4. H1, the thing with H1 is it might actually tempt us to go in a little bit earlier. So maybe if we break here, we might get short-term sells and still expect that deeper retracement happening between today and tomorrow. So the setup might take about 2 days to form. But for now, if we do break this last bearish candle, we can take a short-term sell right there. At least 50 pips will do if we do break that line. So I'm just going to leave this on H1, minimize a bit so that we can see that range. So that's it for C3. Then C1 looks like it's in motion for sells. It took me out yesterday. You can see I had entries here, but I don't think I shared. I don't think I shared that signal, but you can see, okay, I'll explain it just now. I want to open one position in current market price. Okay, one sell position. So I'll explain the reason, but one sell position in current market price. TP around the 200 EMA, so about 20 to 30 pips will do on this setup from now. So yesterday, this is what I was seeing. Right, I came to M15. I realized my price was trading. It took out the day before yesterday's high. Then after creating higher high, we broke an order block. So I was just simply following my pattern, but my trade as well was short term because I was just targeting the 200 EMA. But what ended up happening, the buy trend, this trend which you see happening, the current uptrend, was strong. Price didn't even take out this liquidity. They just actually took me out either 3 positions there in anticipation of one good candlestick. So this is another example of a failed pattern. The pattern is there, but it doesn't completely go to any liquidity points or any points of interest. Price just continues pushing up. So this was a strong uptrend. Let's see if there's signs of a reversal. We've tapped the high of this trend line, which you see, the one which I put there. Let me zoom in. Okay, we've tapped that high, so it's 1, 2, 3. Here we at this zone, which was respected here. Right now, it looks like they hit the trend line. We also have the 50 EMA, which is a dynamic resistance. So we're anticipating a short-term sell now that we've hit a higher time frame zone. So jumping down to H4, H4 will just be looking for a retracement back to the 13 EMA. That's mainly what we'll be looking for. So that's the same thing we are looking for yesterday as well on that sell. We're just anticipating a nice pullback to the 13 before price continued pushing up, because we were certain the price was bullish. So failed pattern. Will it fail again today? We won't know until it happens. The best thing we can do is, if we spot our pattern, the only best thing to do is execute. So again, yesterday you will notice that we're also below the 13 EMA. That's what added confluence to my sell. But again, failed. Right now it looks like we're closing below the 13. Nice broken order block there. TDI below the yellow baseline. We jump to M15. We should find a pattern which is actually in motion. So we've got this high. So it's 3 hits to this high, a broken order block. If we do pull back, I'm anticipating just a pullback into this area. I'm anticipating a pullback into 54, 45, 54, 45. Yeah, let's just use that level. But just be in mind, this zone is a whole area here. Let's see how it looks like on M30. Okay. On M30, it's actually, I think it's a perfect order block. Okay, something like this. If we can retrace into that area, then we can sell. TDI, you can also see we have a nice baseline bounce there. Yesterday, we also had a baseline bounce, but just know if the trend is too strong, it's going to fail. Sometimes it will be a 50-50 chance. So here we're just anticipating something like this. We can drop. We might actually come take out this liquidity. That's very possible. That's very, very possible. As much as this sell is short term, we might end up in these areas. You see where these moving averages are, right around that area. Those are all potential take profits. But we'll see. Remember, we're in uptrend, although we've hit a high time frame zone, so we can get a quick sell just coming down to this liquidity here. So that will give us about 50 pips actually. So let's see what happens with this trade. So we have one position in current market price. If price shows motion to the downside, we're going to quickly scale it. All right, so B5. So we've got a position on positions on B5, and we've got a position on C1. Then going to C500. What do we have on this one? This one has been steady dropping, even though the price action has been a little bit weird in terms of the daily. We can see that we're trading below, steady trading below the 13 EMA. I feel like we're coming towards this liquidity, which you see I marked. We've been talking about this level since last week. 4-hour, you can see we also haven't tapped the level. We haven't tapped the 800 EMA, so we can still get that sell coming into that area. At the top, however, we do realize that once we broke the zone, we never really retested it with a clean touch. 44.30, 44. That 44.30 price line, we never really touched it. So be open to seeing this price still come up here before coming down here. That's a possible play. But if we get a convincing 4-hour close here below this 13 EMA, then we can most likely see price come take out. that liquidity on the bottom there. Going to H1, those are the two biases we have. So going to H1, I would love to sell below this order block. Soon as I come below this, I feel like this will be a safe sell. Yesterday, I was stalking again. You can see, I think I actually took sells here. No, I didn't take it. So I was watching how price would react, and I saw this. I didn't take the trade. Then I saw this play here, fair value gap here after this nice sell. Then I took sells, I scalped a sell somewhere in here, and I was aiming for this low. And I was actually looking for a possible breakout and a retest for a continuation down, but it didn't happen. So price came back up to this high, took out this liquidity here, reacted on this level. If we do break this order block, then that could see price push down, taking out this liquidity, going to that daily level, to that 4-hour red line, which we have on the bottom somewhere there. Let's see where it is. So that can be a potential target right there. So that will be 42.60. This area is area where we should be active in sales right there. And this is the main order block. So if we can get price come below that order block, it will also be below the 13 EMA. It will just be a matter of getting a perfect entry by coming to M15, locating a pattern. For now, what we have, we've got this order block, which looks like it's been tapped. Price can still come back into that area. Excuse me, price can still extend the highs, tap into yesterday's high, create a new order block in here, then break it, then drop, and this will still remain our order block. But if we can get an early entry, if they are selling, that will be perfect. Here we'll just be scaling in since it's just confluence. We'll also scale in at the break of today's lows on our way to that zone on the bottom. So that's my view on crash 500. I'm going to leave it on H1 so that I can jump in if need be. All right, B5 retracing a little bit. B1000 can potentially push up. Potentially. You see, again, we've been speaking about the 16,000 area. Price giving us setups there. So let's see. 4-hour not so clear. H1. The entry was a bit earlier. I think I saw this earlier as well. This was a perfect buy from this zone. Right here is this whole order block, but if you see price just tapped. So if you are watching price, you can just buy even at the close of this candle after this tap. Then perfect buy, take out this high, retraces. So right now, probability of price pushing up is very, very high. That's the order block we have to break. Actively stoking, ready to buy, even at current market price. Yeah, very ready to buy this one. I'd love to see how M30 closes right now, but I'm ready to take buys on B1000 at any point from now. So B5 looks like we've got our motion. I'm actually watching it on the phone since that's where I execute my positions. Okay, B1. It'd be nice to catch B1, man. Let's see. All right, let's have a position. Okay, one buy position on B1000. Okay, why am I buying? Again, I mentioned this candle sometime. this candlestick here. Usually you see it form either it's a point of interest. For example, here, this is a dynamic support. So it comes like it wants to induce sellers, but it will find its own support, then price will actually push up. That's my reasoning for buying it. It's something I've seen form over time, but it has to form in an area of confluence. For example, here we've got a dynamic support. If you look to your left as well, we are within this zone. Let me actually draw that zone there. You might want to run a fib. You can see we've just tapped the 38.2. Just a tap. Inverted hammer. This could actually be a bullish engulfing forming. That's a possibility right there. So we've got one position at current market price. Once we break above the order block, we're going to buy again. Nice bounce on the 50 static there on our TDI. So B1 will most likely give us a nice buy. So as soon as we break above, we are scaling in. Break above that red line, which is also yesterday's high. So until we are currently anticipating an impulsive move from where we are. So from this zone, we get an impulsive move. Maybe from where it started, 100 pips, 150, 200, maybe retrace back into the flip zone area, retest, get another buy. So I'd say for now, that's what I'm seeing on B1000. You guys should also share your views. C5 also looks like it will definitely sell. So we've got a lot of setups here. At least look for one which lines up with your trading plan. That's the main thing. Look for one setup which lines up with your trading plan, one or two at least. But if you've got one high probability setup, focus your money on that one. If you see two, then you can just split the risk between the two. And you put your money, you execute your positions, and wait for the outcome. We can get a very nice push here, guys. This price can actually push all the way up to 16,330. I've been eyeing 16,330 for a couple of days now. So we've got B500 and we've got B1000. For now, I think for me, that's my two main high probability trades. J10 and Step, I won't talk about them for now. I just want to put my focus on these two assets, make my money, and call it a day. I see Frank joining just as we are about to end this session. You're late, my bro. Hey, bro, welcome. You're late. You joining as I'm about to close. But I've got positions in these two setups which you see. So I've got buys on B500 based on this setup on the left. Looking forward for price to push up into this area or push up into the 200 EMA. Anyway, around 61.20, we can take profit from 61.15 to 61.20. I'm anticipating a potential maybe retracement just to tap into this level here. That could happen, but otherwise I've got 3 positions on B500 for a buy. Then on B1000, I've got 1 position. The safe entry, however, is on the break of this red line. These are M15 time frames. So my safe entry on B1000 is on the break of 16115. Once we break 16115, that's a safe entry buy, and we can try and hold that trade. I'm anticipating an impulsive move, so we might then get a retracement later. So if this is impulsive, we take profit somewhere there, anticipate a retracement, then look for possible continuation to the buys. Those are my 2 setups. So for now, 1 position on B1. They're also respecting this zone. Then let me just do a quick rundown of everything. So on C3, I mentioned I'm looking at it from the 4-hour time frame. I've got this point of interest, this gray shaded area you see. It's also in line with this broken level. So if we get a retracement there, I'm anticipating sales, but this setup might take 2 days to form between today and tomorrow. At the same time, if we break the last H4 candle where this red line is, we can take a short-term sell. If we can get 50 pips, that would be a complete setup, and we still wait for price to retrace into that area there. Then on C1000, we've got a position. It's a retracement. We've hit a higher time frame zone on H1, 50 EMA dynamic resistance, and the trend line as well, which is also visible from H4. So we are trading a short-term sell, which might be a retracement, or it could be a bigger move to complete this sort of triangular channel here. But for now, the sell is short term, coming back just to the 13 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. Then if we stay below the zone, then we'll most likely continue look for a continuation of sells. But for now, short-term sell, break of order block, price might retest, but we've got a short-term sell. We can target yesterday's lows as a TP as well. Then C500, if we break this order block on H1, we are selling this order block you see there. Once we break it, we are looking for sells, and we'll try to hold until we get to around 4260. That's the setup. B500 we already have buys. B1000 we have 1 buy position. So out of all these setups, just pick 1 or 2. If you pick 2, then spread your risk between the 2, which you feel like they will play out the most. For me personally, I'm going with B5 and B1. So what I'm anticipating is B5 to give like a good move, maybe 20-30 pips, close those profits, then add my risk on B1000, because as soon as B1000 breaks this red line, I want to add. As soon as we break here, I'm adding positions. So that's how I'm managing this trade. So whatever you choose, you can choose C5, C1, sorry, because this is also in motion. If you choose C5, maybe wait for a break as well. Just spread your risk and secure the profits. So for me, I'm going with B5 and B1000. Those are the 2 assets I'm going with right now. Okay. All right, so for now, the entries are in place. All we do is wait. B5 can just push up from where it is, or it can just tap back in, then push up. B1 just need a break. TDI is already confirming for me that we are most likely to get that push we want. Same applies here. We're already above the yellow baseline, and we are anticipating a continuation to the top side. All right, bro. Thank you so much for joining. I hope this session helps. I'll continue sharing my views in case something changes. I'll still share my views on Telegram. Then let me see if I can do a quick analysis on currencies. I think we've got some time. Where's my trading view? Okay, just a moment. All right, you're welcome, bro. So okay, new share trading view share. Okay, so I'm looking at US 30 and Nasdaq. Last week my entries were not so good on US 30. I didn't execute on NAS, but NAS had the better patterns. So this week, let's just use a higher time frame. On the 4 hour, what I see is this price has just been breaking zones. As you can see, I had some points of interest which were broken. I managed to catch one sell though on Friday, just a quick sell. Took some pips, but I wasn't happy with my general performance. So looking at it this week, we still have points of interest at the top. Okay, I just moved this. Okay, where is it coming from? Okay, I'm not sure. Let me remove it for now. But anyways, okay, I've got a level here. All right, so what could potentially happen? You see, after this drop, price might want to retrace, maybe come back all the way up here to this zone, which I just put, which is also in line with this level here. That's just a broken fair value gap there on this broker which I'm using. Then broke another level here. You can see it's actually, I feel like this is a strong level. We actually, you see here after this break, there was this retest, then price failed to break. We just spiked, continued pushing up. Then here we just dropped, just sliced through it. Potentially price might still want to come back up into that area. So I'm open to seeing buys. Buys will be a retracement of this huge sell-off which just happened last week. So I would say that's my bias. Then right now you can see price is being held by this level here. So if I'm going to sell, I want to see a clean break of that level there. Then I can consider sales coming back into this level now. So that's how I'm approaching US 30. I'm just going to try to keep it simple like that. So if you come to H1 now, if I'm going to get the buys, remember we said we're anticipating buys back into the zone at the top. I would say the safest buy for me is when price comes above this imbalance or fair value gap, maybe bounces off it and gives us an entry somewhere there. That's my safest buy area. In terms of early buys, we'll see. It will depend with the pattern we see during New York session, because I only trade New York, so it will mainly depend on that. So I know that my zone on H1 is there, but if I can get a pattern, these are the Asian session spikes or Asian session lows. If price maybe can come tap equal lows, since I have a bias, once I see price tapping equal lows, I'll take my buys and actually target the zone where I'm saying we have safe buys. Then once we get there, I can secure, then see how price acts on this zone before actually continuing with the buys. Let me just correct this level. I can see it moved. Okay, right there. All right, perfect. So that's how I'm approaching US 30. Yeah, exactly. I saw these holidays as well. There might not be much volatility, but this is my plan. If price moves that way, that's the plan. So it could happen today, it could happen tomorrow, it could happen Wednesday. For now, this is my plan though. If price does what I'm anticipating, then I can confidently take buys. If it also pushes down, hits some confluences, I'll confidently take sells. I'm just going to leave this on the daily. Okay, the wrong line there. So daily, you can see we've been pushing down aggressively. I love a retracement though. You can also see on the daily, we've got this fair value gap forming. right? So where is price most likely to go here? Are they coming down into these points? Okay, there's now so many lines on my chart. Some of them I just put them on when I'm back testing. So I'll try to clear my chart a little bit. Maybe a little bit later, clear my charts. This is definitely a point of interest, man, for sales. Mhm. Definitely high probability sell area right there at the top. I'm very open to seeing buys, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So for US30, let me just leave it maybe on M15 so that I can try to spot a pattern. But this will be for New York though. Then let me see if I've got something on NAS. Okay, Nasdaq already hit a few points of interest there. Okay, very different candlesticks, but this for me is a bullish pattern. Just looking at what's going on right here, this for me is a bullish pattern. Price will most likely break Friday's high, most likely continue. If it's a liquidity sweep, maybe we can get something like this, then price starts to push down. That's also possible. But for now, I'm actually looking at getting something like that. So these indices can actually continue to set new all-time highs. Let's see, price tapped into a fair value gap right there. Friday's highs. Okay. All right, we'll see what happens. We'll just see what happens between today and Wednesday. Let me see if we've got anything on the news calendar. If we've got anything. I know today is nothing. Tomorrow, I did not see anything. Let me just confirm. Okay, today is nothing. Both the UK and the USA have got holidays, so I don't think there will be any volume. Then tomorrow, CB consumer confidence for May. Then Wednesday, German CPI on Euro. Nothing too hectic here, but we'll just see what happens between today and Wednesday. But we'll most likely get our trades midweek. So we'll just see. You never know, anything can happen. But if price plays according to what we just planned, then we are just going to execute exactly that. So I think that's it from me today. Thank you so much for joining. If you are watching this on YouTube, which is where I'm going to share it, don't forget to like, comment, and share, and also subscribe if the content is helpful. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you, bro, for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good trading.